Right, so here we are. It's been a long time. It's now December the 24th, Christmas Eve. And I'm steaming up already. Here we are. Oh, can't see anything. Right, so yes, it's Christmas Eve. Now the last one I did was the 23rd of September, 3 months ago. Who would have thought? Can't see anything. So, what's happened? Well, something rather massive in my life has happened, and I thought I should share it with you after 3 months. Once I get defogged from my visor so I can see where I'm going. So, first thing, the Harley Davidson has gone. That isn't that massive really, is it? I sold that to replace it with a Triumph Speedmaster. I fancied something Triumph that was custom-y. I'd had a bobber, and really, bobber's great, but wasn't really me. But the Speedmaster's a little bit in between. So the Harley went. I had the money sitting in the bank, and I was about to, well, I was on the hunt for a Speedmaster. However, slow down a bit here. How do we start this story? This is how do you start this story? God knows. So long pause. Yeah, this is difficult, this story to tell, in a good way. So I was handed some information at the beginning of August this year on the whereabouts of my mum, my birth mother. I've been on the hunt for her for quite a while, but never really got anywhere. I was adopted as a 8-week-old baby back in 1968. A good year. I think the year the Beatles released Hey Jude. So I was adopted as a child, and I always knew that, and wasn't a particularly big deal in my life, apart from the fact I'd always wondered what my real mum was like. And I've been on the hunt on and off for a long time, but it's one of those things that's quite a delicate subject for all parties, and I hadn't found her. And then after having some friends over at the end of July, my wife's friend asked me if I'd found my mum yet, and I said no, and she said let me have a go, and within 2 days she'd found her. So it took about a month to actually make contact, and we made contact, and on the 24th of September this year we met for the first time, which was absolutely amazing. She's a lovely, lovely lady. Never ever wanted to give me up, but at 16 years old, back in the 60s, she had to give me up, and has always wanted me back. So we have met, and then we have just carried on seeing each other every weekend ever since, and we message each other, and it's absolutely amazing. So it has taken up pretty much all of my time since the 24th of September. Hence, I have been out on the bike occasionally. Myself and Captain Rumbunctious had a nice ride across the fens after decatting his Speedmaster. Yes, we fitted some British custom pipes, same as what I've got on the Bonneville. Can't remember the name now. So yes, we had a nice ride across the fens, probably one of the last nice warmish days of the year. But my lovely mum has taken up all of my motorcycle riding time, and also the weather's been pretty crap, and I've just been in a different place altogether. So yeah, the bikes have stayed in the shed. And the scary thing is, normally once I've got the money after selling a bike, I'm a man on a mission looking for the next bike, but I haven't actually haven't really looked. And to be honest now, with the way the economy is and everything else, I don't think I'm going to bother at the moment. Although I have looked at a lot of reviews online on the BSA Gold Star, which, yeah, it looks a bit cheap, I suppose, but it is quite a cheap bike as far as bikes go now, and I think you could have some fun with that, doing some modifications, probably trying to make it look a little bit more like the original thing. I don't know, so I'm going to keep an eye out. I might have a test ride on a Gold Star in the spring, and I might leave it for a year, because I wouldn't have thought the second-hand prices will hold up on them. So we shall see. So yeah, I might leave that for a year, let them sort of settle down and see what issues there are, if any, and then we may go for a second-hand or even just a new Gold Star. And the really good thing with my mum is she's actually up for getting on the back of the bike, so in the summer we shall go out and have a ride on the Bonneville, which would be really nice. She actually used to go on the back of bikes back in the late 60s when she was quite young, and yeah, she's been on the back of Nortons and stuff like that, and to be honest, the bike she used to go on the back of a lot is pretty much identical to the Norton I've got, so that should be fun. And then the other thing is, in finding my mum, I've also got 2 brothers and a sister, which is quite amazing, as I was an only child, so suddenly I've got a little sister and 2 little brothers, although they're not that little, but yeah, so that's really cool. It's really cool suddenly knowing you've got 2 brothers and a sister, and it's really funny because certainly the brothers are they're into their cars and stuff. Even my mum sort of has an interest in cars and bikes, and she even used to have a Ford Capri years ago, which is quite impressive. So yeah, must be where I got it from. Thanks, Mum. So yes, it's been an interesting 3 months. As I say, I'm sorry I haven't been out there putting the odd little YouTube clip up, but it's just the way it is, unfortunately. I'd rather have this time with my mum than ride the bike, to be honest. It's magical. There's something to be said for a front mudguard extension, living in the countryside when the roads are really messy, because it does save your feet and the front of the bike. This just fires it all underneath the bike, which is a lot better than going up inside all the suspension and all the bits that are going to get all crusty and wear out. Oh, this is glorious, isn't it? Look at this. This is just so nice. It was absolutely chucking it down yesterday. And, oh, Christmas Eve, out on the bike. Look at it. Beautiful Suffolk flat countryside. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, look, have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I certainly will be. And I've got to buy something next year, for God's sake. Do you know, I haven't bought a bike, any sort of bike, since January this year when I bought the Harley. That's very unusual for me, so I've promised my wife that I can get to the end of January without buying a bike, a whole year. That will go down in the history books. But that doesn't mean after January we can't start looking. There's all different things going around inside my head at the moment, but we shall see. We shall see. So until the next time, I will see you again soon. Hopefully not as long as last time. Cue the music. happy Christmas and a happy New Year, Mum.